Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to our coffee times to talk about horror. And today I bring you my TBR pile for the month of December.
It's coffee time!
It is crazy to think that we are entering December. Like, where did 2024 go? Excuse me, what happened to the year? I demand a refund. It went way too quickly. So I put together an interesting TBR, I guess. I have here a couple of arcs from NetGalley that I want to get to because I have still a long list of arcs that I need to get through. Also, I have 4 novellas that are going to be horror Christmas themed novellas because I want to do another reading vlog reading novellas, this time with Christmas horror. So far I have done 2 other videos like that, reading I think it was summer horror novellas and Halloween novellas, and I loved the experience, so of course I had to do one for Christmas. So without further ado, let's take a look at the books that I plan on reading in the month of December. Candy Cane Kills Again by Brian McCauley, and this is the second book on this series. The first one was called Candy Cane Kills, and I read it last year, absolutely loved it. So I am so happy that I get the second installment. And the first book follows a family that is looking for a great holiday time together as a family, and they decide to rent a beautiful cabin in a small town. But what they don't know is that something really horrific happened in that very same place. And it is not until the people that live in the village tell them about it that they are made aware of, what transpired in that house. And yeah, you will have to see the rest, but I love that one so much. So I am super excited to get part 2. The next one that I have put on my list is Rotten Tommy by David Southergrand because I am behind on David Southergrand and I cannot let that happen. I cannot go into 2025 without having read more David Southergrand, especially when he is releasing a new book in December as well. This guy never stops and I'm thankful for it. So I need to read this one because I feel from the ones that I have not read yet by David Southergrand, this one might be the best fitting for December. Becky's mom disappeared without a trace 40 years ago. Now Becky goes back to her mom's house, and as she's clearing out her things, she finds between the walls some tapes, some VHS tapes, and she's like, I wonder what this is. So she decides to watch them as normal people would. And this triggers memories, nightmares, and something called Rotten Tommy that might be coming for her. I just love the sound of these, and it feels like it's gonna be, I want to say cozy for December. But, I find David Southergrand's books cozy. But they are very extreme, just putting it out there. Normally his books are quite disturbing and quite messed up, but I need to catch up because my goal is to read all of his works. At least in 2025 I have to finish reading all of his published works because I want to do a ranking and let you know what all the books are about and do like a video especially just for David Southergrand. So that will be coming in 2025, I promise. I also want to read Let's Split Up by Bill Wood, and this is a YA horror, and I have seen on Goodreads that now they have listed Let's Split Up 2. So I don't know if it's getting a sequel, but it might. And I'm really excited to read this one. Basically, the It couple of this high school has been killed, murdered in a house, and some of the friends decide to go and investigate to see what happened to them. Now, this book is going to play with the tropes, obviously, based on the title, and it's gonna have a lot of humor in it, which I am excited, but also a little bit scared about because you guys know the humor can be a hit or a miss for me, but I am determined to read this one before the year ends. The next one is called No Place Left to Hide by Megan Lally, and this is a YA mystery thriller, and it does not come out until January 2025. To Brooke, image is everything. She wants to be the best at everything that she does. She wants to keep her reputation intact. Doesn't matter what has happened in her life, she's determined to make things work for her, and she's very excited to also start university. She's spending some time with her friends, and she is with her crush at a bonfire, so everything seems to be perfect. That is until a truck driver tells them on the road home and they don't know why, and that is what they call the incident. So they have to figure out who is coming after them and why in order to survive. The next one is just a cozy mystery thriller, and I saw that I had 2 of these on my NetGalley list, so I thought at least I could try one. And honestly, these ones are just so easy to read, so comfy, and it's amazing when you read these like with your blankie and your hot beverage. And it is called Death of a Gingerbread Man. It is by Lee Hollis, and it is part of these collections of cozy mystery thrillers that always have like cats and dogs on the covers, and I ate it up every time. I find them really cozy. I don't even have to read the synopsis for this book. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a small town, a woman that lives there or just moved there, and somebody gets murdered, and now it is up to her to figure out who killed this person. Normally, this is how these books go. It's always the same thing, but it's always interesting, and it's always like very much a small town. You need to imagine this is like Hallmark romantic Christmas movies, but make it murder mystery. That's kind of what these books are, and I definitely love that. So I think at least this one needs to be read during December. I also decided that before the year ends, I want to read another romance book because I haven't really read much this year. I haven't had the time. Horror and thriller has occupied the majority of my TBR, which fair, because that's what I enjoy the most. But I do have a couple of romance books also on my NetGalley ARC list, so I thought I would read one before the year ends, and it's also one that is published in January 2025, so at least I can tell you guys what I thought about the book before it's being published. And this is a YA like rom-com. It's called Recommended Reading by Paul Gotcha, and this is also a male-male romance. This is an opposites attract rom-com contemporary story about a queer bookseller and a lifeguard that enters the bookstore where he works, and he might have a second chance at love, and I'm here for it. Also, bookseller, absolutely. Queer, absolutely. Give it to me. So I'm really excited about this book, and I think again it's going to be very mushy, very Christmassy. What you need to understand if you are new to the channel is that the whole year I read horror, and especially October and November I focused solely on horror books, but when Christmas comes around I become a different person. I watch Christmas movies and I like to read some Christmas books and even romance, like it is what it is. But we are gonna go back to horror. I also took a look at the books that I had on my Kindle because I always forget about those. And I have Boys in the Valley by Philippa Cassie, and the white cover makes it look very wintry, very perfect for winter. And also I've heard this is a really good kind of historical horror, and I need to know. The book takes place at an orphanage for boys, and the priests there take care of the boys. They teach them their prayers and they help them. So one of the characters that we follow is a boy that is an orphan because his parents were murdered. He's hoping to find a family and have a future when one night, one fateful night, some men come to the orphanage. It's not like these men are there to particularly harm them, but these men are sick. They have some sort of sickness, and it starts spreading through the orphanage. I'm really excited about this one. I've heard really good things, and I love the setting. I love the idea of having some sort of stranger coming with a virus, with something that you don't know what it is, what it's gonna do to you or to the other boys. It sounds horrifying, but I'm really excited, and I think it's gonna be a great read for winter as well. And now you guys, let's talk about the horror novellas that I'm gonna be reading that are Christmas themed. I ended up picking up 5 because a couple of them are very short, one of them is a little bit longer, so I was like, let me make a list of 5 so I have enough material in case that I fly through them. The first one has a really long title. It's called I Found Christmas Lights Slithering Up My Street by Ben Farthing, and I love this cover. I think this one is going to be very unique because it follows a family that after whatever happened last Christmas, which we don't know yet what it was, they decide not to really celebrate Christmas anymore this year. And the son, Douglas, was like, hey, but I kind of want to, and he finds this box of lights and decides to put them around the house, like on the outside of the house, to probably win the contest for Christmas decorations and stuff. But we will learn why the parents didn't want to celebrate Christmas this year, which I'm guessing is because of something quite gruesome. The next one is the one that is a little bit longer, but I really wanted to read this one because I already wanted to read it last year, and it's called Abominable Snowman by Brian G. Berry. And listen, it is about killer snowmen. I don't think I need any further explanation. Based on the cover, you know what to expect. It's probably gonna be, I think this is a little bit more splatterpunk, so it's gonna be probably very bloody and gruesome, and I'm just here for it. I don't think I've ever read a book where a snowman was the killer, so why not? Then we have Santa Muerte Claus by R.J. Benetti. This one follows a very rich family that seems to have everything, and they are having a great Christmas, which normally happens when you have a lot of money and no worries. But then one of the Santas in town from the mall, one of the cheap Santies, decides to pay the family a visit because he wants a little bit of revenge. The next one is a short horror story, but I wanted to include it here because I'm in the mood for Christmas horror, and it's called Santasploitation by Judith Sonne. Santa wakes up on Christmas morning and he realizes that he has been drugged and now he is tied to a chair. A group of women have kidnapped him and they are not gonna let him go until he gives them what they want for Christmas. I kind of love this, you know? Just take matters into your own hand. Female empowerment. I love it. And the last one is called Red Christmas by Alice B. Sullivan. To honor his late mother, Preston decides to continue the tradition and decorating the tree and everything for Christmas. But that, this year, might cost him his life. This is a story about grief and denial, and apparently he needs to put himself in a lot of danger in order to retrieve the last decoration piece that he needs. And I guess it's going to be a little bit more heartfelt probably than the other ones that I have on this list, but I'm really excited to try these novellas. Some shorter, some a bit longer, but they're all Christmas horror themed, and I'm ready this year. Also, I have been really busy the whole year with multiple jobs, and I am hoping this December I'm not gonna have any extra jobs, so hopefully I will have a little bit more time to relax and get ready for 2025. These are my reading plans for the month of December. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the books that I plan to read. Let me know what you are planning to read for Christmas in December. Do you like to also pick books that are Christmas themed? Let me know down below. If you want to support me and the channel directly, you can consider joining my Patreon. The link is down below. Thank you guys, as always, so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in our next coffee time. Bye!